What's your name?
Jim Dawson.
Hi, Jim.
I've owned a small business for 24 years. And my question to you is what I don't understand. We talk a lot about spending too much money, but as a small businessman, I know the last thing you do when you're in debt is cut your revenue. And I don't understand the part about why are we giving all the tax breaks to multi-million dollar corporations, to oil companies that are making tens of billions of dollars a quarter. Not a year, but a quarter, and I don't understand. I would never go back to my business and say, you know what, I'm 43% of my income I owe out, so I'm gonna slash my income coming in and see if I can make all this work. Why aren't we cutting some of the tax breaks that are given to the wealthy? I understand all the points about not giving it to the poor too, but why are we giving it to the people that least need it?
Tell me about your business.
I own a small metal fabricating business. I have 5 employees and myself. There's not a government program around that will help me with anything, but Wells Fargo can get millions of dollars a year, even after they make millions of dollars a year. So I guess I would like to know, why are we cutting our revenue at a time when we need it the most?
Well, revenue is the same thing as taxes. And what we want to do is make sure that businesses, whether they're large or small, can thrive. And right now, a lot of those companies, the big companies, are sitting on a lot of money. GE, for instance, billions of dollars that they're sitting on, that they're not putting into the economy for a couple of reasons. One, it's a lack of certainty in the economy. Number 2, tax rates. Number 3, regulations like Obamacare, Dodd-Frank, and the EPA regulations and all the rest. That's another one. My opinion is this. I think the tax code, I'm a former federal tax lawyer, it is 3.8 million words. And I think all the things that you're talking about need to be on the table. Every one of them. They've got to be on the table. Because a lot of these programs, a lot of credits, a lot of subsidies, some of them could be as much as 80 years old. And they may not be relevant to today. But one thing I do want to see is increased energy production in the United States. So whether it's oil or gas or coal or hydro or wind or solar or you name it in the United States, I want more of it. Because it's a gift we've got in this country, and I want to make sure we have it. I think the best thing the government can do is stop playing favorites through the tax code. I've seen it, I've lived it, I've watched how the federal government uses the tax code to pick winners and losers. Why should your company have to be paying more when another company doesn't have to pay? All companies should be treated the same. So that's what I think.
You intend to equal it out then where the big businesses pay their share?
Well, everybody needs to pay their share. Of course they do. And I think, again, think of it. 3.8 million words in the tax code. That's a lot of special interests.
I agree.
And so what we need is to revive it, overhaul it, and if I had my way, I'd abolish it. That's what I would do. I would get rid of the current tax code.
One quick thing I want to understand. When we give tax cuts to the wealthy, that nobody says they're calling it a tax increase if we take them back. Why isn't it a tax increase on us working people when they want to take our Social Security and Medicare away that we've worked for our entire life? Why isn't that a tax increase on us?
Well, who said they're going to take away your Social Security and your Medicare?
Every politician that's up there today is saying we've got to cut the social programs, we got to cut Social Security, we got to cut Medicare. Isn't that a tax increase on the working people?
I haven't heard anybody say that they're going to cut current retirees on Social Security and Medicare.
Well, I'm not a current retiree. I'm going to be a future one, and everybody is saying it.
Wait, let's finish the answer up here. On Medicare, 9 years from now, according to the trustee, the hospital trustee for Medicare, 9 years from now, Medicare is broke. It's done. So we've got to figure out how we're going to fix it. Let me give you an answer. I was in the White House with President Obama a couple of months ago, and we said, Mr. President, how are you going to fix Medicare? And we asked him not once, but 3 times. And he mumbled, and he didn't give an answer, and he finally said Obamacare. Now, most senior citizens don't realize that President Obama is planning to have Medicare go away. So if there's anyone in Washington that is planning to cut Medicare, it's President Obama. How do we know that? He already stole over $500 billion out of Medicare. It's gone.
What's your intent for it, though?
My intent is to be crystal clear that anyone who is a current beneficiary will receive those benefits. Nothing is going to change. But for people who are not yet on the system, we need to have members of Congress come together and reform it, because it's like the Titanic headed for the iceberg. That thing is going down. It's not going to be there 9 years from now. The people have already testified before Congress. They've told us it's going to go down. And that's why we've got to get very serious today. That's why we can't even wait until November for this commission. We've got to get serious today. My mom is 80 years old. My stepdad's 87. The last thing I want is for them to go to a mailbox and instead of their check, it's an IOU. But if politicians don't get serious about this, that's what's going to happen. And we can't have that happen.